Card weekend.
The Super Wild Card weekend, you have to say that.
Hello and welcome to the Boys Upstairs Show. This is the Super Wild Card Weekend Show.
Woo!
All right, so game one, we're doing the Browns minus 2.5. Total's 44.5. This is a lot of different storylines going into this game. You've got the Joe Flacco feel-good story. You've got the C.J. Stroud incredible rookie season story. You've got DeMeco Ryans as a first-year head coach. You've got Kevin Stefanski as probably going to be the coach of the year with this Browns crazy season that they've had, all the injuries and having Joe Flacco as your quarterback. Joe Flacco has gone 4-1 in his starts. They are looked at as a very hot team right now. Yeah. And the Texans just came off beating a basically playoff game that they needed on the road in Indy. Shout out Andrew and Martin. No. So very, very looking forward to this game. Very highly anticipated matchup. So what do you guys think?
I wish it was Browns-Colts, but Gardner Minshew doesn't know how to throw a football, and we are third-string running back in. While Jonathan Taylor was getting a water break on the sideline.
He should have caught the pass. Like it's
a bad ball. It's a bad ball, but yeah, you should have.
It wasn't a bad enough ball to not.
No. He should have put it in front of him, let him, and it would have been a touchdown because he had Pittman blocking in front of him. But,
if you're a professional, you got to catch that pass.
Absolutely.
And I feel bad for the guy. My immediate reaction was, oh my God, feel bad for that guy.
Pressure.
But you got to catch that pass. You know what I mean?
Gotta catch
the game was there to be won, and you lost.
It was winning in. But the pass is the pass. I like the Browns team. Joe Flacco knows how to win in the playoffs. Is he elite? I don't know. With this run, he might, cement himself. I think the Browns are going to win. That's a team that I like. No points. No nothing.
Andrew picks winners only.
Just winners. He's a Division I college athlete. Can't gamble.
NCAA.
This is the one game on the slate I have no idea what's going to happen.
So you feel confident about every other game on the slate?
Well, I'm not sure. I'm not guaranteeing a perfect week or anything, but with the data that I've acquired from watching these teams play throughout the year, I know which way I'm going to lean on the other games. On this one, I have no idea. Win or lose, I think the Texans are the story of the year.
Okay.
First-year head coach, first-year quarterback. It's been unbelievable. People still, I believe, pick them to finish 4 or 5 wins, probably last in that division, and they won the division, and they're hosting a playoff game. The Browns, Flacco has played well, still turns the ball over a lot, but, talk about a quarterback carousel they've had really for the last 25-plus years, but this season especially, with 4 or 5 guys they've had playing. The one thing that's interesting is C.J. Stroud playing in his first playoff game. I love Lamar Jackson. He struggled in his first couple playoff games. Peyton Manning, all-time great. He struggled in his first couple. But, sorry to bring it up again, last week was essentially a playoff game. Yeah. Winning in. And he played outstanding. So I'm not afraid for his performance, but I'm just very confident in one particular side of the ball. It's defense with the Browns. Myles Garrett might be the best player in the league on the defensive side of the ball. Might be, Tommy. Don't get upset. And I think
there's not one stat that Myles Garrett is better at than T.J. Watt.
Listen,
one's playing this weekend and one's not.
Myles Garrett and the Browns D-line and the defense.
You can't blame
the Browns D-line and the defense as a whole is awesome, and I think they will create a turnover or two. Browns win. I'm going to say 23-20. I like the Browns to cover minus 2.5. Credit to them.
Shout out to the Texans defense, which is led by DeMeco. DeMeco should be, if not for the fact that Kevin Stefanski and the Browns have had this insane season where Nick Chubb got hurt really early on.
Yeah,
Deshaun is fucking,
That was week 2, dude.
Yeah, that was against the Steelers.
That's how long
that was against the Steelers early in the game, too. And Deshaun Watson was supposed to be your franchise. And before he even got out for the year, he was like in and out of the lineup for a few weeks, not playing that great. So your season at one point or another looked like it was over multiple times. But here they are in Super Wild Card weekend with Joe Flacco, who was on the couch when the season began. Yep. Mm-hmm. So it's an incredible story. I'll just go now. I'm picking the Browns, which I hate to do. It hurts my soul. I hate the Browns. Everything about the Browns, everything about Cleveland, I don't like. Nothing about me likes Cleveland Browns. Mm-hmm. But in this game, I think the Browns are going to win. The Browns have probably the best defense in the NFL. And I think that, the Texans are led by a rookie quarterback. I know that it's at home, and I know that he's played very well this season. He only has 5 picks this season. That's insane.
3
of them were in one game. So that means that aside from that one game against the Jets, he had 2 picks all year, which is crazy. He's a rookie. He's like my age.
Yeah.
And regardless, he's older. He's younger than you, Jake.
Yes,
You're older than him.
Yes, he is.
Anyways, 5 picks in an entire rookie season. Incredible. Joe Flacco has thrown 8 picks in 5 games, just to counteract that. I think that Joe Flacco probably doesn't even need to throw a touchdown pass in this game. If they can run the ball effectively, the Texans don't have that great of a running game. Kevin Singletary and, Dameon Pierce haven't been as great this year. They have an electric passing game. I love Nico Collins. I love C.J. Stroud. And I love the Houston Texans. Shout out Tyrod for starting this whole process a couple of years ago. But I'm going to take the Browns. -2.5 on the road is a little bit, surprising to see. Because I think the Texans are a good team. But I don't really love how close that game. Like I just said, the Colts could have won that game very easily. Mm-hmm. And, if it was Colts-Browns, then I would certainly pick the Browns. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to stick with the Browns, -2.5. I could very easily see it being a 3-point game. So I'm going to take the Browns. And I don't really love 44.5 as a number. So not touching that.
I'm going to go with the Browns here. I don't love the fact that they're minus on the road, especially in a pretty juiced up team with Houston, young legs, and you guys have said everything that's needed to be said about CJ Stroud's rookie year. But I just want to touch on, before I get to Cleveland, I just want to touch on, a lot of people are giving Stroud a lot of credit, and deservedly so, but the Texans also have a rookie head coach, which I feel like needs to be commended and praised as well, because that is not an easy thing to do, to turn a franchise around first year as a head coach and completely switch up the culture. I also want to commend that their GM did an amazing job in the draft. I mean, you want to talk about hits, your first 3 picks with Will Anderson, CJ,
literally and draft day movie. Like Will Anderson and CJ Stroud, that was the draft day movie.
And I know Tank Dell's hurt, but I mean they stole him.
Oh, Tank Dell. What about him?
Yeah, that's why I said the first 3 picks that they went 3 for 3 and changed the whole franchise around. It was insane. I've never seen anything the likes of that, as far as like a quick turnaround to where you're hosting a playoff game. But yeah, I just think in my head, the way I'm kind of thinking about the game is it's going to be close. It's going to be tight. And which quarterback do I trust? I'm a Ravens fan. I know about January Joe. I think he's going to get it done.
Ooh, Flacco playoffs, hey.
There's something about Flacco.
There's something about Flacco that you just trust.
A real pocket passer. I don't know.
He's just the pocket passer, man. The way he just stands in the pocket. Yeah, so I'm going Browns. I'm not touching the total either.
I'll follow you, Nickson, because I'm kind of riding the train here. I'm going to go Browns too. I'm also going to go under 44.5. I think that's a no-brainer, especially with how dominant the Browns defense has been this year. What's it called? CJ Stroud has been unbelievable. That Texans offense has been unbelievable. And like Tom said, they're very good at avoiding turnovers. CJ Stroud's only thrown 5 picks, I think you said, all year. But I think that could help contribute to the under, because their game plan probably don't turn the ball over. But I think Cleveland's going to be taking away that deep air attack and kind of trying to keep them contained, which Stroud has done well with getting guys deep and using that big arm of his. Also, Flacco, I think this game might come down to whether Joe Flacco stays like the Joe Flacco of old and plays like he's been playing, or he turns into an old man who shouldn't be in the league anymore. So I think that's kind of the ultimate deciding factor. But Texans are great. I think I like what they've done this year, but in the end, I think they just need a little more time. And this Browns team, you guys keep saying something about Flacco, but like something about the Browns team as a whole, feels like a team that can make some real noise in the playoffs this year. I'm not going to jump and call them a Super Bowl or like a Super Bowl contender or Super Bowl favorite, but I will say that they do look good, and I feel like they're going to be dangerous. So I will take them to win this game by 3 points or more. For sure.
Yeah, I mean, neither of these teams are winning the Super Bowl, so it doesn't really matter.
If you would have said over the summer that one of the games in Super Wildcard Weekend was going to be C.J. Stroud versus Joe Flacco, you're like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
So I'm going to break the train here. I'm going to take the Texans.
Ooh! Wow!
Thank you, Coby. Save the graphic.
Love it. So basically, I mean, obviously every possession of a football game matters, but in the playoffs, that's really what matters. And to me, the thing is the Texans don't turn the football over. And Joe Flacco does. And I think if it comes down to it, like we saw last week, CJ Stroud plays great in big games. If CJ can not do too much, move the chains, put a couple points up. If Joe throws one or two of them throws he's due for every game, and the Texans get one or two extra possessions, they get to run the clock out, they win the time of possession, they could pull this out. I mean, this is still the Browns. Joe, he's obviously had his run, but the more and more film that comes out, the probably, because he didn't play the first 11 weeks, there was no film. The more and more film that comes out, the harder it is for him to succeed. And I don't know, the Texans are young. I mean, they've lost so many weapons. They're still putting up numbers. And they got that juice. I mean, everyone's been stepping up. Like last year, they had the second pick in the draft, and then all of a sudden this year, they won their division, which is absolutely insane. The Browns are obviously a great team, great defense. Their offense has been doing all right. They've been, the fact that they're in the playoffs right now is insane, especially with Joe Flacco. The guys really rallied around Joe Flacco. But the Texans were doing that all year, even before Joe Flacco. Like the Browns started rallying post Joe Flacco. The Texans, they've been rallying all year around CJ. So I think CJ is going to play a nice game, safe, not turn the ball over. I think Joe is gonna accidentally lose it a couple times, and I think it'll be enough for the Texans to win the playoff game.
It's hard to root against that team, that coach, and CJ Stroud. Also, just being an Ohio State fan, it's an awesome story. I'm glad that one of their quarterbacks has panned out recently, but couple reasons why I think the Browns are going to pull out. 2 words, Joe Flacco, obviously. Coby, it's a good point that they've rallied around CJ Stroud all year, but carrying this momentum, crutching on somebody like Joe Flacco with playoff experience, Super Bowl experience, and the best defensive player arguably in the league. He's going to see CJ Stroud. He's going to be like a lion looking at a piece of raw steak. So I'm scared for CJ on that front. But at the same time, if Cleveland's going to win this game, they got to play complementary football. Houston's going to be game planning for this game with eyes on the secondary, stopping the pass. If the Browns can't run the ball and do a good job that way, and Houston can stop the pass, the Browns are going to be in trouble, and I think it's going to be a close game, which not to say it won't be, but I think the Browns are going to cover here. One of the best defenses in the league, I think ranked second in the teams remaining in the playoffs, found the rhythm, 4-1 record for Flacco. That's going to be 5-1 at the end of this weekend. But not to say the Texans don't have a great story and are an awesome team as well.
What speed are you at?
I'm at 7.
Oh, I love
I'm going to ramp it up.
Look at all that.
Ramp it up.
Yeah, get up to 9.
Trot to warm up. Look at all that shit.
There we go.
Sam, when's the last time you sniffed the treadmill?
Andrew, I'm down 20 this year, pal.
Hell yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Congrats. Can we get
Hey, shout out Sam.
Hey, shout out Sam.
There we go.
That's good shit.
That's true.
That's good shit.
I think I grew again, but still.
Hospital. That's you lost 20 pounds in 6 days. That's a lot of days. That's a lot of weight.
A lot of poop.
Damn. Sixer.
A lot of shitting, that's for sure.
All right, hey, like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.